Hi, welcome back to the workshop. What I really like about this format, this DoSE workshop format, is that whenever I find something that I would like to make a video about, I can just hit go and we can make a video about it. This was not part of the plan. This was not part of what I wanted the next thing to be, but it's turned out this is the next thing because I really need to solve this problem. A while ago, I'm not sure you can see this, I'll shoot the camera over in a second, but I 3D printed some inserts for my sockets. So instead of, because for the longest time, it's my fault, for the longest time they were just rattling around inside this drawer, and if I needed a 10mm socket, I had to kind of grab it, pick it up, go, that's not 10mm, oh, no, this one looks close to 10mm, and I had to kind of hunt and gather for them. So I printed these cool inserts, which I'll take you over and we'll look at in a sec, that have made it so much easier to find something. I can just look in there, grab the one I want, get going. It saved me so much time. Now, I did one for metric, one for imperial, and they've worked out really well. Just before, I was looking for a center punch. That big, little point, hit it with a hammer, make a mark. And they're in here. Come over here and I'll show you. I'm not sure if this is the right angle, but we'll figure it out. So they're in here, in this drawer here. There's a whole bunch of like drill bits, but also there's some Forstner bits that are just in a container by themselves. But then there's this kind of mess of stuff, and it's got tap handles and a whole bunch of like nail punches and center punches, and there's more tap things. There's some spade bits. There's my big drill bit that I use occasionally. There is a broken center punch I probably need to get rid of. A whole bunch of like taps and it's just kind of a little bit of a mess, and it needs to be sorted out. I've been putting it off, and I think now is the tipping point of when we need to sort it out. So we're going to do that tonight. It's late. I probably shouldn't be starting this right now, and I probably won't finish it right now. But let's just see. Let's just put the organization process into action, and we will hopefully end up with a needed desk. So the way we're going to solve this is very similar to this system, which is our Sortimo system that I've got like 4 of them over there at the moment. I'm going to get some more, but right now I've got them for wood screws, metal screws, sewing material, rivets, a whole bunch of things. They're all sorted. I know where everything is. It works on the system of little inserts that slip into a grid here. So there's small sizes, there's tiny sizes, there's much bigger ones, and they all fit into here. Lid closes, locks. This goes into my little storage system, which is fine for that. But over there, we don't have a Sortimo system that will fit in that area. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this tool, which I only recently found out about, called Gridfinity. And what that does, it works hand in hand with the 3D printer, where you can specify how big your drawers are and how big of a grid system you need, and then which size little boxes you need. So we're going to measure out the drawer, input these details into the Gridfinity system, and output some STL files, which will go through the slicer, which will then go through the 3D printer, and we're going to print ourselves some little storage systems. What a great use of the 3D printer, I think. So let's go. That's going to take a while. So let's go over here and explain kind of what we're doing. Let me attach you and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about the printer noise, but that's going to take like 10 hours. So we'll have to carry on. The basis of Gridfinity is you print out a grid, which I've just realized is horrible to look at for you because it's the same color as And I ran out of yellow filament in the last 2 layers, so you can see this has actually got grey on top. I had to swap it out. So what happens is you get a grid, and I've sized these up to fit inside the drawers, and then you get and then you print these, which are little containers which you can go however many squares by however many squares, and the ones we've got printing in there is like one selection of each of them. Now, I have to admit, I printed this one out wrong. I printed it, I'm short, because these are 52 millimeters for each square, which works out to be exactly what I need in there. So I printed this out, and then I went to stick it in, or to just rest it in, and it wasn't fitting by like that much. And I was like, surely it's not a millimeter out. And I went back to my file, and surely I was a millimeter out. For some reason, because you control it via slider, or I was controlling it via slider, I hit 53. So this is incorrect, but this enables me at least to show you how it works while we wait for the other ones. So you have a grid. I've got 2 of them in there now. And then this is all my stuff that I've got in there. And I don't really have enough to have a dedicated drawer for like taps and dies yet, or anything like that. So it's kind of a mixture of things. So what I want to do is like set up a thing like this, where you got a container, and then I say I've got my spade bits, and the spade bits will sit in there. They might go over in the corner, and then like I can build angles and whatnot, and I can organize things so I can find them easy. So what we're going to do with this grid is figure out kind of roughly what we need, and then based on what comes out of there, we will have a good idea about how many more things we need to print. So I'm thinking what we do is we have the spade bits, which will fit like that. Then we have our, these are masonry drill bits, so that can probably fit in a 3 maybe. I reckon that will fit in there like that. That's a 4. We've got other drill bits which will probably end up making their way into a drill stand later, but for the meantime they kind of need a 4 as well. Actually, I'm going to leave them out because they will sort themselves out. I'm thinking these might all fit into they might be a bit long actually. These might need a 5x2, which I don't have, but maybe we can print one. Right, well, these are just like things for the taps and dies. So that, then I've got these, which are the taps, which can fit in there, and the dies can fit into another one here. And then I kind of got one missing. And then there's a 3 here, which I've got punches, but these can maybe fit into a 2. I've got these nail punches, which are just a little bit tall, so maybe they can all fit in a 3. So that's not bad. And then I just need an extra couple of little ones. So I need to print out a 5x5 and maybe a 1 just for space filling, I guess. Unless I swap these. I kind of want to put these and these next to each other, so there'll be a 3 and a 3. This one, these masonry bits might need a 4, just because I think we'll probably end up getting some bigger ones. These ones will fit in a 2. And all this extra things, these are like hole saws and router bits, so maybe and these hole saws, these ones are the ones I bought specifically for when I made the arcade cabinet. These ones are the perfect size for an arcade button, for metal and for wood, which I'll probably use because we'll probably use them in the workshop at some point. And this is a router bit for a T-molding, and this is a router bit for a flush cutter, so maybe we need a router bit 1, which will just be maybe a 2x2 might be good for that, and a 3x2. Okay, I think we're alright. I think we've got enough. We just need to print a couple of extra ones. I'll see you in like 10 hours. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll pick this up tomorrow. Morning. These finished overnight, so we have to peel off and deburr all the edges. There's a little bit of work here. I'll just be working through it, and then we'll get to populating the tool chest. I'm using a deburring tool for this, which is, it rotates at the top and allows you to just drag down the edge of things, just to take those real hard edges off, like this type of thing.
You just grab that, you cut into it, and it cuts it off. Sometimes it's not as easy as that, but you know, most of the time it is. Okay, everything's printed, everything's deburred, everything's ready to pack back in. The quickness of the video belies the fact there was probably 15 hours of printing in everything here, which is quite a long time, not insignificant when you think about it, but also at the same time, like what we've gotten out of that 15 hours, with not me having to do much, you know, that was just the printer doing the printer thing for the most part. Whilst that was going, I did get to do a cleanup of some of the tools and things, and think about how I wanted it all to go together. But now we're kind of just putting these things into this grid. So we print the grid, and these just kind of Tetris in. So let's start doing that. I don't know how it's all going to go together. Oops. Let me just... It's fallen behind something. Got it. Got it. Come over here. Okay, so I've got all my taps and dies are in here, and my taps and die handles and things are all in here. This one kind of requires a big one, just because of how big parts of those things are. I've got nail punches, center punches, hole punches. I've got some little hole saws and things in there. I'm not sure whether they'll stay in there, but that's a good size for them. Some router bits now, and then I've got miscellaneous drill bits, which can probably be in a smaller one for now, and spade bits. But then I've got all of these things in other little containers, like all my extra drive bits and drive adapters and countersink bits and step drills, like a whole bunch of other stuff that's in somewhere else that I can put here now. So I'm going to print 3 more 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4 more 2s, and 1 3, and then finish this off. This Tetris City jigsaw puzzle, but it's so much more satisfying. Okay, that's what we're going to do. 4 2s, 1 3. Print. Go. Okay, we're still going. It's been 7 hours and we're almost done with the extra containers. But I want to show you something. There are... What is it? We're 172 of 199 layers. So almost done, but... I think we might almost be out of filament. Can we make it? Do we have to use purple to finish it? I don't know. It's like we're so close. Come on. You can do it. Oh look, there it is. You can see it. It's in the... Follow it in the tube. Where's the tube? Oh.
It's like under 15 layers. What do we do? Because this is... I don't think it's going to... Like, 15 layers is like... that much, right? Is it going to matter? Is it easier to live with a slightly short thing that goes in here, so it doesn't quite line up? Or is it harder to live with the fact that the top of these things will be purple? I don't know. This thing has been going for so long, I've gone and gotten a haircut. It's okay. So we ran out. Sorry, it's a bit noisy. It's still going. So we ran out of filament. I think we've only got under 15 layers left, which translates to probably 2 millimeters of actual size. So the question is, am I going to be less annoyed that these are shorter? Which probably not, because I'm not ever going to see them. You know what? Or do I add the purple in? I think I might just stop the print, because I can still use them. Like, it's fine on top. These are just storage things for... I'm never going to see them. Let's just stop the print. Now, yeah, look, it's fine. Having them be minusculely shorter than the other ones, it's fine. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay. Let me just get rid of these. We'll jump back over there. We'll refill it up, and then we'll probably label them. But let's make sure we label them. All right. You'd never know. You'd never know. I mean, you would, but, you know. I'd know. Okay, what are we doing? Let's go drills. Miscellaneous drills go in here. Then we've got... how was I going to do this? Let's put that one there. And then that one here. How did I imagine this happening? For some reason I thought it was 1, 2, 3. Then that was, hang on, wait, this was there anyway, so don't worry about that. So then, okay, that was there. That was there, that was there. Tetris. That's how I was thinking about it. That's how it was in my brain. Okay, now. Screwdrivers. Where's my little screwdriver gone? Screwdriver bits. There. These line up. Countersink bits can go in there. There. Oh no, that's not going to work. There we go. Figured it out. Hell yeah. That's great. Oh, I'm so happy. All we need to do is label them. And we're done. Alright, let's have a look. Here they are. We have spade bits, drills, adapters, spare drive bits, router bits, hole saws, countersink bits, step drills, punches, center punches, hole punches, taps, dies, and some holders. Now these taps and dies are just, they're just spare metric ones. Sorry, I probably should point out the thing that I'm looking at. It worked really well. I'm super happy. we have sorted out our SAE sockets and our metric sockets and our taps and dies and drill bits and stuff. The 3D printer has been really good for this stuff. I mean, it takes ages and takes a lot of filament, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it for me being able to find things easier. I'm really happy. There we go. That's it. We had a problem. It was frustrating, and then we solved the problem. Yay. There you go. Go make something. Go have fun. Look after yourselves. Catch you soon. Bye.